Just to hear you.
Sarah Galen, for president.
Hello, how are you today?
Hi.
Okay, so today we'll be interviewing you about some of your policies for this election season.
Okay.
How would you describe yourself, and why should you be president?
Well, if I can, perform an impossible neurosurgery with great success, then I also believe that I can create ignorant and discriminating policies with just as much success.
Interesting.
Howdy, ma'am.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How is yourself?
I'm good. So we're going to be talking about some of your policies for this upcoming election season.
That's fine.
So we'll start off with our first question. How would you describe yourself, and why should you be president?
I feel like if this country acted under a dictatorship, it would be a heck of a lot easier, as long as I was a dictator. I mean, a lot of my candidates have underestimated me, and I feel like in the end, I will come out with the W.
There you have it. Hi, how are you today?
Hi, doing good.
Okay, we're going to start by talking about some of your policies for this upcoming election season.
Alright.
We'll start off by asking, how would you describe yourself, and why should you be president?
Well, even though I started off with a small loan of $1 million, and I created an empire that's only gone bigger up to 4 whole times, I have also become a complete political idiot.
Hi,
Hello, I'm doing good.
We'll be discussing some policies for your upcoming election season. We'll start off by asking, how would you describe yourself, and why should you be president?
Oh, well, I just love our country. As you can tell, I painted my face like the American flag. I just love our great country so much, and my great home country of Alaska. I love it so much. I should be president.
There you have it. On the topic of climate change.
Well, just as the Earth, rotates on its axis, but how far away is it from the sun? These are all complex questions. Like gravity? What is it? Is it even real?
I feel as if the sun has always been hot. So this mumbo-jumbo science has proven nothing. And besides, there's nothing I like more than an ice-cold beer and a hot Texas sun.
I think climate change was created by and for the Chinese government to make U.S. manufacturing non-competitive.
Well, you see, in my home country of Alaska, the mooses and the humans, they could coexist peacefully. So, you know why I don't believe climate change exists. That's just a complete myth. I don't believe in it. We don't have climate problems in Alaska.
Last summer, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of legalizing same-sex marriage in all 50 states. Do you believe in gay marriage?
Is homosexuality a choice? Ask yourself that question. People go into prison, they go to prison straight. And when they come out, they're gay. And what happened while they were in there? Ask yourself that question.
Personally, I feel that gay marriage should be between only a man and a woman.
I know that gay marriage has no effect on my life, but we cannot let this happen. Think of the children and how they will be affected by being adopted by these wonderful parents. These children need to have horrible lives with the heteros. We cannot let this happen. The sanctity of marriage cannot be ruined more than my 3 divorces have already done to it.
Oh, gay marriage is just atrocious. How could I ever endorse something that has absolutely no effect on my life? I cannot believe that my home country of Alaska ever made it legal. No, are we the country of the United States? No, we're the country of the United Straits. That's how we need to be. I do not support it at all.
Recently, Planned Parenthood has come under fire for being an abortion clinic, and many politicians have sought to defund the company in order to limit women's rights to a safe abortion. What do you think in regards to women's reproductive rights?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I believe women who get abortions, and if you think about it, they're basically slave owners.
Let me make one thing clear. I do not have a uterus, but I feel that I do have a deuterus. This deuterus is to tell women how they can and cannot use their uterus.
How dare we allow women who've been abused, molested? How dare them? How dare they allow them to terminate unwanted babies? Think about the feti.
Well, I'm a woman, so I know all about women. I know all about them. But you can't think about the women, you gotta think about the babies. Who cares if it's compromising the women's health? You have to think about the baby and its feelings. You just can't crack the egg. You just can't do it.
Gun violence, especially mass public shootings, has been rapidly increasing over the last 10 years. What course of action do you plan to take on gun control?
Well, I'm more concerned in making sure that I avoid being politically correct than actually correcting serious issues like gun control.
See now, many of these politicians want to take away my guns, but my father drank during the Prohibition era, so how effective is that? And besides, I think that we should sell guns and beer together, maybe in a drive-thru.
Are we supposed to be controlling gun violence? I didn't know there was a problem with that.
Oh, I love this question. This is my favorite one right after the military. We should talk about that next. Now, with gun control, my goal is to plan to use 2 different guns and learn how to shoot 2 different mooses at the same time. Isn't that great?
President Obama has been allowing Syrians to seek refuge in the United States, which has angered some because they believe it will lead to terrorism. Do you believe Syrian refugees should be allowed to enter the country?
Well, of course. Why wouldn't we let Europeans in the United States?
Syria is not in Europe, Dr. Bin.
Oh, of course. I was thinking of Ecuador.
Ecuador is also not in Europe.
Let me ask you one question. How many people is a Syrian?
Syrian is not a number.
I'm pretty sure it is. I can count to a Syrian because I can for sure count to a Brazilian.
It's simple. Refugees equal terrorism. If you are not 100% American, like 100% American cheese, you should not be allowed in this country, and you are harming us.
Okay. Now, the greatest threat to the United States is, it's the liberal media bias. That's what it is. But you know what? We shouldn't let the Syrian refugees in anyways, just to be safe. We have to keep Alaska safe.